Happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday training. And this week, y'all, we are in the last stretch of August. September 1st is coming sooner than we think. So with that being said, that means we have time to ignite our fire. Ignite our fire. So if you aren't fired up for this season, I hope this will give you some ways to start putting that fire in focus. We want to focus all of our energy. We want to focus all of our efforts. We want to get that determination down. We want to set up our systems, our routines. We want to be running at full speed this season. And here's why. As we go into this season, I know you've probably heard it from me, from others, from other videos, all kinds of things, right? That this is our busy season. And for some of you, this is probably your first season with Scentsy. Let me tell you, the rumors are true. When we talk about this is the busy season, this is the busy season. And for those of us who still have kids in school, well, hello, we've just kicked it up another notch. Because not only are we getting those kids back to school, and some of them, for a lot of us, that might mean that we are getting the house to ourselves. Don't mind anything going on up here. Means we might be getting the house to ourselves for the first time in a while. And that's exciting in and of itself because we have more time to fuel our business. So how are we going to fuel our business? We are going to make a dedication to ourselves. Not to me, not to your sponsor, not to your best friend, not to your spouse. You're going to make this to yourself. To yourself. I want you to really sit down and think about, what do you want from this business? What do you want from this business? Not what you think you can do or what you think you can't do. Not what you wish you could do. Not that big pie in the sky. But I want to know, what do you really, truly, end of the day, really want from this business? For a lot of us, that might look like a certain dollar amount. I want to earn a certain amount of money so I can fill in the blank, right? Take care of those things. Hello, Lisa. Hey, Roxy. So you have to figure out what you want. It also could very well be, well, you just want a community. You want something to fill up your time. Maybe this is a hobby. Maybe this is in conjunction with a full-time job outside of the house or in the house. Maybe you work inside the house too. But at the end of the day, if you don't know what's going to fuel your fire, because that's the real sauce, right? That's the sauce that helps us complete everything that we're working to do. It's that want, it's that need, it's that fire, okay? So as we go into the fall, one of our favorite things to do here at our house is we like to have bonfires in the backyard in the little fire pit, right? And while we're not there yet, right, it's still like 107 degree heat index or something outside, insane. While we're not yet there at that point, I want you to picture your fire. And some days, here's the thing. Some days your fire is going to burn very low. Maybe it's just going to be like just a little spark. Other days, you may see a huge inferno going, right? Because you're more motivated, or you have things that you're like, I'm going to do this, this, and this today. And when I get all those things done, oh my gosh, I'm going to feel so much more in control of my business. I'm going to feel like I'm doing the thing, right? Like I'm getting everything done. Like I'm accomplishing something. I don't know about you guys, but for me, that accomplishment, oh my gosh. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I make my bed every single day, right? Check it off the list. Bed made. Done. Already done. Done. I clean my house before I go to bed. And yeah, I know, I'm one of those insane people who I clean all throughout the day. I'm just weird like that. But I will do a end of the night clean in my home. And that's simply because that way in the morning when I wake up, by the way, I'm not a morning person, but when I wake up, I don't wake up to that dirty kitchen or a dirty house or the laundry overflowing or what have you, right? Because what happens, and I know all of you can probably feel that, when you wake up and you see all of that, right? Whatever it looks like, maybe it's the kitchen and the dishes piled up in the sink or what have you, you automatically start to feel that sense of impending, I have to do all this and then I can start the stuff I was supposed to do today. So instead of waking up to that feeling, instead of waking up and already feeling like you're behind the 8 ball, right? Why not start with a fresh slate? And yeah, it might take an extra 15 minutes or what have you to at least load the dishwasher or wipe down the counters or pick up the toys in the living room off the floor, right? Whatever. But trust me when I say, when you get up the next morning, you're going to feel better about your day. Oh, Roxy, I love it. I'm a phoenix. I rise from the ashes. I am the fire. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Because when your fire is just a little spark, there's probably not a whole lot happening, right? That also means that inside, you're not feeling like you're running your best, right? You're not feeling like you're accomplishing anything. You're not feeling like you're really doing anything, right? Or making a difference or getting anywhere close to what your I want and need to make, fill in the blank, right? When your fire starts to grow, and when it is that fire, it's red hot. And red hot is exactly where you want to be in your business. And it's going to spread out into the other aspects of your life, however that looks for you. And there's going to be times when, yes, that big, huge fire is going to again come down. But you have to be watching your fire at all times, right? Just like a bonfire, just like sitting around the bonfire, right? And it starts to dwindle and sink into itself. What do? You stoke the fire, right? You add more branches or some wood or rolled up newspaper, right? And you stick it in there and you relight it and you watch it grow again. That's what you need to be doing in your business. So you have to figure out the things in your business that are going to help you stoke the fire. What is going to help you do that? Maybe it is showing up for the trainings. Maybe it is having someone join your team. Maybe it is having a successful month with your sales, right? Now, all of those things don't come from a wish and a hope, right? We have to put in the work. We have to put the logs on the fire. We have to build the fire. And when we look at that, that looks like having conversations with people. That looks like booking parties, because the more parties that you're doing, however your parties look, when you are having parties, you are having the opportunity to have more people to connect with, to talk to, and to dial in with. It's true. So it doesn't matter if it is an online party or a home party or an event or fundraiser or whatever it is that's happening, right? Those people are now people that you can then start to build relationships with. People don't buy time and time again just because They have nobody else to turn to. They're going to buy time and time again from people who they either have a relationship with, who says thank you, who reaches out, who checks in on them to see how they're doing. Are you ready for a refill? How is that warmer? Where did you put it in your house? Are you loving it? All of those things, right? We hear about follow-up a lot, and I know I talk about it a lot, but let me tell you right now, it makes a difference. It's another log that I'm putting onto my fire because it helps me to build relationships. So when I am following up, it's not, I mean, I do those things. I didn't want to say it that way, but I did. But at the same time, it's all about building that relationship with that customer, making that customer feel valued, making them understand that their purchase, whether how small or how big it was, impacted your business. Because for me, I let them know every single time, your purchase makes a difference to me and my family. That is standard in my thank you follow-up, right? Standard. I don't just add that in when I feel like it. That goes into every single one because I want them to understand that they are not buying from that big box store. They are buying from a mom and a wife and someone who is supporting a family, someone who has specific dreams and goals. I want them to understand that. Because when they understand that, and they see me and on your social media, right? That is the part where we say, 70% business, 30% personal, right? Because that's the way that they're able to start to put that into their focus, to understand they do have a family. They do have things that they need in their life, right? Things that they're working for. I see them doing all of these things. That's what I'm supporting when I purchase from them. At the end of the day, we have to be fueling our fire. We have to be putting more logs on. We have to be tending that fire. We have to make sure that it's still burning strong, because let me tell you, the slightest moment that you turn your back and you walk away from the fire, it takes so much more energy to start a new fire than it is to simply stoke the one that you already have. Again, picture the bonfire, right? When you were first starting a bonfire, it takes a little while for that fire to build up, for everything to get hot, for that wood to start crackling, right? For everything to start happening. And then you see it start to grow. So when you let the fire die, yeah, it's going to take a little bit more effort to get that back and going, right? Same thing with our business. You want to take a month off? You want to take a couple of weeks off? That's your choice, right? You're your own boss. I'm not your boss. She's not your boss. He's not your boss. Nobody else is going to tell you how to work your business. You're going to have to tell yourself. You need to make a dedication to yourself of what you want from this business and how much it truly means to you. So that means you've got to connect it. You have to tie it into why you're doing this business. Why do you do the things that you do with Scentsy? You've seen the memes, you've seen the quotes, right? That if your dream isn't big enough, you have to make sure that you are tying your business into your why. And every time that you sit down to work your business, because let me tell you, when you do that, you are going to find that you're going to soak that fire more, right? That means you're going to push yourself to make sure those follow-ups get done. You're going to push yourself to have those conversations about having another party with someone. You're going to fuel your fire with intention and dedication and meaning every single time. There have been many times throughout my business where my fire has gone out. And when that has happened, let me tell you, like I said, it takes more and more energy to rebuild that fire. So I encourage you, don't let it burn out. Don't let it burn out, because this business is we talk about it all the time, that this is a blessing. Let me tell you right now, I used to dream when I would sit in that cubicle of being able to have the opportunity to work from home, to go to bed when I wanted to wake up when I wanted to do the things that I wanted to do. In that cubicle, I did a lot of dreaming. And I did a lot of dedications to myself. If I do this, if I keep working, I know I'm so tired when I get home from work. I don't want to put into that business, but I know if I don't. I had all those conversations with myself. And it wasn't until just recently that I started remembering all of those conversations, all of those things that I would tell myself when I sat in that cubicle. I'm going to tell you right now, we're driving home from dinner last night, and my office building is right on the side of the highway. I was on the 7th floor, and my cubicle was right next to the window that faced the highway. I remember sitting in that cubicle, dreaming of the day that I didn't have to go there every single day. Dreaming of the day that I could be the one who could make my own decisions, right? Because when I was working for my vice president, right, I was literally doing the things that she expected me to do, how she expected me to do them, when she expected me to do them by, right? All the things. So last night when we were driving by, I just, by pure instinct, I looked up at the building as we drove by. And it flooded me back of sitting in that cubicle. And I had such a great feeling of pride and gratitude that, for one, I didn't have to go sit in that cubicle anymore. But for two, that I was now living the life that I had dreamed about when I sat at that desk. And of course, all of this happened in 30 seconds, right? But I will tell you, I felt pride. And I instantly was reminded of my own fire inside of me. So what did I do when I got home? I hopped on, I got on with my girls, and we worked, we laughed, right? We did all the things. But that was my first focus. As soon as I walked in the door, where's your focus? What does your fire look like? And how are you going to make it burn brighter? Every single day, I tell Madison the same thing. I just want you to be a little bit better than you were yesterday. I tell myself, I need to be a little bit better than I was yesterday. I am constantly pushing myself. And let me tell you, I am the first one to put a lot on my own plate. Sometimes to my own detriment. But it's because I know why I'm working this business. I know the reason that I do the things that I do. It's so I can give my family a home and a mom who is going to be here, and the ability to coordinate all the chaos that happens inside the house, right? Make the lunches, make the dinners, clean the house, do the laundry, and work my business. Because what I get out of my business goes into this home. That's a pretty damn big why. It took a lot of time to build that fire and to realize and understand that the more times that I let that fire out was just the harder I was going to have to work to build it back up. If I had just kept it going, if I had just fueled my fire instead of letting it go out, I wouldn't have had to have worked so hard to rebuild the fire, right? We have to be looking for the ways that we can fuel the fire every single day when we're working our business. What does that look like? That's probably going to look like you having conversations. I don't care if it's on the phone. I don't care if it's through a text. I don't care if it's a message or a chat or a Snapchat or a TikTok video, for goodness sake. I don't care what the conversations look like, but you need to be making sure that you're having them. And you need to be having enough to where you are reaching out to enough people that, yeah, not everyone is going to be interested in our products. Not everyone is going to want to join your team. But the more conversations you're having, the higher likelihood you're going to have of people finding the value in our products, understanding that this business is an opportunity and what it can do for them and their lives and their families. Because let me tell you, y'all, if you haven't watched the news lately, go ahead, watch the news. It will depress the shit out of you, because it depresses the shit out of me every single time I watch it. But you know what? I need to watch it because it fuels my fire. It helps me to understand why I'm working so hard to do this for my family. Because let me tell y'all, the world outside is scary right now. Straight up scary. And there are more and more and more people who are either getting their hours cut back, losing jobs, having to figure out new ways to bring income into their families and their homes just to feed their family, for goodness sake. All of this is happening all around us. And maybe before, when a side gig or that, work from home thing wasn't really, the cool thing to do. Let me tell you, there are people every single day who are signing up for DoorDash, who are saying, you know what, I'll go drive for Uber on the weekends or what have you, right? Because they're looking for ways to be able to bring income into their homes. And why not do it in a way to where they just sell things that smell good, where they don't even have to leave the house. I don't have to leave my house necessarily to make money. Why? Because I'm fueling my fire every single day by having conversations, by working with my team, by pouring into myself, by doing all the things that keep my business going. Yeah. The news. I mean, I'm every single night. And as hard as it is to watch, you're right, Roxy, as hard as it is to watch, sometimes we have to watch to be reminded of why we're doing these things. Because I don't have to worry about the fact that my hours might be cut. I don't have to worry about if I may still have a job, if I get a shot or if I don't, right? A lot of people are having to make some really hard choices with their jobs right now. Choices that we don't have to be making. because we've been building our fire. We've been building businesses. We're working towards goals. We are focused on the things that we want and we need for us and our families. And when that focus is here, and when all that energy is just here, you're going to have yourself one hell of a bonfire. Because you are going to be fueled. You are going to be hungry. You are going to be motivated to get up and do the things you need to do. Doing this business, working this business, we're not asking a lot from ourselves, right? The things that we have to focus on to build our business, right, is to work on our sales, work on building our team, and work on retaining or training or, sustaining that team, rather. Those are the things. And yes, making samples and doing the fun stuff might be a little part of that. But the full focus has to be on the important things, on the logs that fuel the fire. You have to focus on the things that are going to truly make a difference in your business. Stop playing the comparison game. Stop trying to do all the things that you think you need to do because you saw all the things online or on social media and you're like, oh, if only my things looked as pretty as theirs, then I'd probably have more customers. No. Because let me tell you, for probably about the first, until I got to, it wasn't until I even promoted to Superstar Consultant, I didn't even have a printer at home. I didn't have a printer. So I couldn't print out labels or anything like that. Everything was either handwritten or I had to order it through Vistaprint or what have you and then wait for it to come. So I didn't need to be doing all of those things to work my business. I'm living proof to tell you I didn't have to do that pretty happy mail to have customers. I didn't have to make the cutest packages for my customers in order for them to come back. It was as simple as a phone call to say thank you so much, because this business means the world to me and my family. It was a handwritten card. It was taking time to send a message or an email. I appreciate you supporting my business because I'm a mom just trying to build a business over here. Because at the end of the day, why are you doing the things that you're doing in your business? Got to ask yourself those questions. Exactly, Trina. Yeah. Is it going to be hard? Yeah. But it's worth it. And you know what? Just because it's hard doesn't mean that it's doing the hard things that will bring out the good in your business. By pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone to have those conversations, to build those relationships. Oh my goodness. That's where the magic happens. And yeah, it's rough. And even for me, it's rough sometimes, right? I am not that extrovert person who will run up to somebody in the store, right? And start off that conversation. I'm just not. But when I do have a conversation, when I do reach out to someone, when I push myself to have those, you can bet that I am more proud of myself after I've done that. Because I've made myself understand and realize that I can do the hard things. That while, yes, it might be a little uncomfortable in the moment, it's because that why is burning bright. You want better things for you and your family. So you know you've got to have those. You've got to do the things. So I want you to start picturing your fire and how you're fueling your fire. The things that you're doing in your business, is it fuel or is it fluff? When you start separating the two out, you'll quickly be able to realize that sometimes spending a lot of time doesn't necessarily equal the return that you're going to get back, right? Let me tell you, for years, I made a whole lot of samples that never left my house. Never left the house. If they don't leave the house, then that was just time wasted making them. And in order for them to leave the house, I have to have conversations. I have to build relationships. I have to do the hard things. Look at your fire and see what it looks like to you. No, Linda, we do what we got to do, right? That's right. I know Linda's excited because she also is being able to see with the kids going back to school, she's able to put focus on what she wants to do, right? And as a mom, that gives you so much power. Oh my goodness, I can't even explain it. Because we tend to put a lot of pressure on ourselves. I definitely put a lot of pressure on myself every single day. Every single day. And let me tell you though, when you put that pressure on yourself, yeah, sometimes it can be hard. But it's because you see the bigger picture. You know what you're working for. You know why you're doing the things that you're doing. Because you can see what it is that you want out of this business. This business is just a vehicle to get us to where we want to go. Start fueling that fire. Yes. I know, Trina, I have to watch that today. I am so proud of you though, and I haven't even watched it. I'm going to go watch it today. I love that because it's when you have those talks that you're going to see that it's going to help to motivate others, right? Because I can want this business for you guys all day long. But if you don't want it, that's not going to get you there, right? So when we pour into our teams, when we have conversations, we're reminding them of the things that they want. Why are they doing the things that they're doing? Why did they join this opportunity? Why? Do they see the value of what this business can do for them? Again, this business is a vehicle. So get in, buckle up. We are riding. We are riding all the way to where we want for ourselves and for our families to be. Fuel your fire. And you're going to see that between all of us, right, we're going to have different ways that different things are going to fuel our fires, right? Maybe it is watching trainings. Maybe it's reading books. Maybe it's having conversations, right? Whatever it is that fuels you, that reminds you of your why. And if you need a bigger reminder, take a picture, make it the wallpaper on your phone, right? Stick it to the computer, put it on the fridge, because for goodness sake, we all go to the fridge, right? Every time you open that fridge, I want you to see your why. Put a Post-it note on that fridge. Post-it note on the fridge. Why? Where do you see yourself in a year? Where do you see yourself in 6 months? Remind yourself of that every single day, because that is the strongest fuel you're going to put on your fire. Because you're going to start it feeling, you're going to have that feeling inside of you, right? Every time you sit down and every time you either pick up the phone or get on to make a message or what have you, to have those conversations, that fuel is going to be running through you. Yeah, it's hard, but I'm doing this for me, or I'm doing this for my family. I'm doing this so we can have X, Y, and Z, or so we can do X, Y, and Z. Let me remind you, we have the Christmas season coming up, and let me tell you, I'm already stressed out. So if you, or if you have team members who don't have that strong why, then you know what? Challenge them to say, you know what? I want you to start working now, so that way you can pay for Christmas without putting it on credit cards, without having to pull out of your personal account. I want this Scentsy business to be able to give you the opportunity to have Christmas taken care of. That is pretty damn powerful. And I will tell you, the first year I was able to do that, I cried. It was a big thing for me to be, I got goosebumps just thinking about it. It was a big thing for me to be able to give to my family and know that I didn't have to stress out. I didn't have to work overtime hours. I didn't have to figure out what card I could put this on just to make it happen. This is how we're going to get to where we want to be, but doing the hard things. So get in the car, fuel the fire, and remind yourself every single day of why you're doing it. Have a good week, you guys. I am so excited for this season. Finish out your month strong. If you haven't yet hit your goal, then you need to be putting in the work. Put in the work. You still have plenty of time. It is the 24th. You have until the 31st to determine what your paycheck is going to look like. So make it count. Make it happen. Because I can't do it for you. You are the only one who can do that. So do the hard things and fuel the fire.